The OKC Thunder defeated the Pelicans 94 to 92. This was a hotly contested game. There was, I believe, 40 lead changes throughout the game, so it went back and forth. It was an ugly game, shooting wise, by both teams. I felt the Pelicans choked this game away. They had several chances in the fourth quarter to just take control of the game and just put the Thunder away, but they couldn't do it. They should have stepped on their throats. There were several times I felt the game was there to take, but they couldn't seize the moment and they fell apart. For a stretch, it was really ugly because I think there was a point of the time of the game where they went up 90 to 88, and it was like for 3 minutes, neither the Thunder could score or they could score. So it was like the game was like to a standstill for like a few minutes. Neither team was responding. And I also felt that Shea was struggling in the fourth quarter for several minutes, that he just couldn't get anything going. He had his shot blocked at one point in time. I think he had a turnover. Just, it wasn't looking good for him. I felt he was melting underneath the pressure, but he showed up when it really mattered. He hit the shot to tie the game with a little bit over a minute left. And then he hit the go-ahead shot to put OKC up for good, just and one. So I give a lot of credit to Shea because when you're struggling, it's easy to melt in these situations in a playoff game. I've seen plenty of guys do it over the years. So he really showed to me a lot of resilience in this game when he was struggling during that stretch in the fourth quarter. So kudos to him for coming through. That's what star players do, especially MVP candidates. So I give him a lot of credit, but I look at the Pelicans like, what a stupid team. Just, I'm still shaking my head at some of the mistakes they made. Just even when Shea tied the game 90 to 90 with just a little bit over a minute left, they could still have taken the lead back and broke the tie. On that one possession, they chucked up like three-pointers on one possession despite getting like three offensive rebounds. And these were just bad chucks. Just, they were just jacking up shots. It's like the type of shots that you would take on the playground. It didn't make any sense. And I'm thinking, like, what's wrong with this team? You don't always need to take a three. I get the mentality of taking the dagger shot where you want to use a three to put away a team or destroy them. I get that, but when your shot is not falling, you got to get something easy. That's what drives me nuts about the current NBA. Like, when guys are struggling, they don't try to get easy buckets like they did back in the day. Instead, they just continue to chuck these threes. The three ball is a horrible shot to go to when you're struggling. As even I can say that as someone who plays basketball, just, well, not at a high level, but just who played basketball at Parks and Rec for so many years. Just when your three is not going down, you need to go to the mid range game, hit a simple fadeaway shot, go to the bank shot, go for something easy. Just go to your toolkit, bring something out of your bag. And a lot of these guys just don't have these fundamentals down. I see this all the time. It drives me nuts. Like, you look at just even Shea tonight, like this guy in the pressure situation, he hit two straight mid-range shots. This guy just went to simple old school mid-range, and that's the way you should do it. But with the Pelicans, I just saw just this obsession with this three-point chucking nonsense, and it didn't pay off. They screwed up. Like, so even after that possession where they couldn't break the tie, obviously they foul Shea and he gets the and one. They're up by three. And then after that, they design a quick play, and CJ McCollum hits, I think, a baseline mid-range shot, a fadeaway shot. So the game is now 93-92. They foul Chet. He only makes one or two free throws, so the game is 94-92. And then after the timeout, they go to CJ McCollum on the inbound pass. They inbound it to him. He catches the pass at the top of the key, and then they try to run a screen for him using Trey Murphy. And you could tell the screen failed because it didn't really do anything to give him space to get by the defender that got switched on him. So that was a botched up play that was drawn out of timeout. And then you see CJ McCollum trying to ISO the defender on him, which I believe was Wallace. He tried to ISO Wallace, and it didn't work out well because he got the ball nearly stripped. And then he started to panic and try to get creative off the dribble. He ends up just chucking a bad shot. It was a terrible shot. Like, even though he was able to pump fake his defender, I was just shaking my head. Like, what the hell was this? Like, man, like, what the hell was this play? I don't know if Coach Green's idea was to create a screen out of the timeout, but that was a failure. The only thing I would say after the screen failed, I've replayed the play a few times, and there was no easy options to even do the pass, but still, I think he would have been better off doing a simple flip pass to Trey Murphy or just doing a pass to Ingram. Either one of those guys was on the left or the right of him, and having them chuck the final shot versus him just trying to make a ridiculous chuck with that pump fake. There was one guy I found that was kind of open. If you watch the replay on the final play, you could see Herb Jones all the way in the corner and Shea starting to ignore him. That's when CJ McCollum could have made the quick pass at the corner three. Just to me, that would have been the best play to make, but it is what it is. They blew their chances. I don't know how much of this was on Coach Green for coming up with that stupid play out of the timeout. How much was it on CJ for the way he executed this? So it was just terrible. They choked this game, and they'll regret it, I feel, especially in a 7-game series, that if this series goes a distance, they will have big regrets about not being able to steal this game. For OKC, they can breathe a little bit better. Their inexperience showed tonight, but now they'll get a second chance to get the jitters out and not feel the pressure like they did in game 1. Now they got that out of the way. I think they'll play more free in game 2. So the Pelicans threw away a golden opportunity to win this game.